Hello, hello. This is my Podio build out here. This is basically working out of seller's apps, and then you have deal structure, financials, realtors, buyers, title companies, wholesalers, JV investors, offers. Able to are going to be your main apps in here. So from here, you get your sellers, and we'll just go into a fictitious one. So one of the things that I like first off is basically have this set up as a whiteboard. Makes it easier for me to move my leads down and everything. And actually, and then you can just go through and like you can move them around just like this, just like you can on a whiteboard, and see everything change. So essentially, when you come in here, you have your your name, obviously, phone, email, the property address, gives you your Zillow links, and then we have these breakdowns here of each section. So you got your motivation right there with a drop down. These stages right here are based upon what it is in the seller's leads app in that category there, the staging, as you can move them around. And this here can be configured to be whatever ones that you want. Follow-up info, what you need to do, and the due date for that'll pop up on the calendar. So you can put in there for this lead that you need to present an offer, and let's say it's due on that Friday by 2 p.m. So now that there will actually go into your calendar, and however you have your calendar linked up with Google or iCalendar and stuff, it'll mirror it to that. So here we have our property information, your built property type, everything in here can be configured, number of units if it's multis, bed, bath, square footage, lot size, zoning, property notes, additional properties if there is any, lead information, the condition of the property, whatever it is, repairs needed, reason for selling. That's like a big category. That one there's a big one too. Just for any sort of types of notes. You got your asking price, timeline to sell. And then your lease, if there's a tenant in there, then it's your lease. It would be your lease end. So when you put this in here too, that way you actually kind of have everything there. Yeah, again, your seller notes for what you're doing with the seller, like anything that they have being in general with the seller themselves. I like to have property notes, so certain things like whatever it is that they're telling me about the property. Yeah, it's got a cracked foundation, anything, hey, it's got a pool, this is cracked and needs to be replastered, whatever. I can just write down that information in there, and it's within its own field instead of having just one set of notes and having to sift through everything. Seller notes is my notes with the seller there. Financials, this is a reference field, and I will come back around to this one. This is actually referencing the financials app, and I'll show you that here in just a second. Offer itself, what is it, verbal or written, whatever you want, your offer price, expiration date of that offer. Is it accepted? Yes, no, whatever. Deal Structure is another relationship app. The Deal Structure is a whole nother app, like I was talking about there in a moment, just a minute ago. Same thing with acquisitions, which is going to be your title company here. Inspection period, showing date, closing date, earnest money. So like a JV partner would be like a JV partner, like a wholesaler. So if you have a JV partner in on this, then you could attach them here and put in their fee and stuff right here, or you can this wholesaler, that whoever it was that submitted the lead to you, whatever your fee is for that, whatever it is that you got to pay out for them, there you go. That's put your JV fee there. Your buyer again is another relationship field, and your dispo price and your estimated profit. So This is a calculation. This is acquired price or disposition price minus acquired price minus your JV fee, and you get your estimated profit right there. Select your disposition type, whatever it is that you're doing with this. Select your member, lead source on this, where that came from. And then, or you can do a campaign here, and then you can attach files to your Google Drive. And within the seller leads here, you can go ahead and keep track of everything that you have to do, all your files and stuff that are related to this, as well as in each of these relationship fields, you can, keep those contracts within there for those people on that property. And then again, you can create all these tasks from here. So now what we'll do is we'll go back into up here to the financials. And this is a financials field. You would just come up here then and create create the name for it. And then you have your, start putting in all the property financials and stuff. So you can see how big this section is here and why it's not attached to this actual seller lead app. This way it kind of helps to minimize the seller lead app just to be just the information that you primarily need and the primary information that you're looking for. So in here we have ARV, property square footage, price per square foot, being like what you're going to do for rehab costs. And this is an actual calculation here. So 1847 square footage times $10 gives you that square footage right there. And so, we can go through here and keep changing this, and it will go through and update the calculation right there automatically. And what's good here too is that you have a mail. You set this up 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, whatever it is that you want to do. And what is good and what this is doing is your ARV for that you have for the property itself. The ARV times 0.8, times the 80%, minus the repairs and minus your desired profit is going to give you, your 80% there and your 70% here. And so you can go through here and change this up however it is that you want, and we can set this up. Free and clear, yes, no. Here's another calculation. First mortgage balance plus your second plus your HELOC plus your taxes plus your liens equals your overall total. And these are all, so you add everything up here and then they add up to that. So you can put your first mortgage in their second mortgage and then your HELOC and then all your, yearly taxes and stuff that you have in there. So you can attach that in there. What's good about this too is that then you can say you got to do, you need to create a task in here to go back through and confirm with this person's financials. You can come in here and just create the task, set the date, set the time, and then set yourself a reminder here with your notes in here for whatever it is that you got to do. And then that there again will go onto your calendar. Anytime that you have a relationship field, it's always attached to the items that it is actually related to. So we'll actually go back to the seller lead. Now it takes us right back here to the seller. We don't have to back out and go through and pick out any of the, any of the other apps that we don't need. So we can come back in here. So there's the financial section that we just went over. And, there's the offer. And then now we can go into the deal structure here. The deal structure itself, again, same thing, you name it, what your purchase price is on it, how you're going to acquire it, your assignment fee that you want to get off this. So then this here starts breaking down, some information. This year is like your entry fees. This kind of gives you an idea of terms and months is going to be like how long you have the property for until you have to balloon them out, or if you have to make a change in your deal structure. So in this instance here, terms and months, they're going to give me a 10-year window for a balloon, but I'm going to get 30-year terms. So with that, I put in the notes here, a 30-year term with 10-year balloon. So that's my terms and months right there. That's what I have. This is another calculation. This is all your your entry fees. So this is 1 + 2 + 3 + 4 + 5 + 6 + 7 equals your total entry fees. So as you change all these here, these actually automatically add up into here. So if you have no acquisitions costs, we're at 31.5 down there at the bottom. We can change this up. And then that there will change this one down here. There's calculations fields. As we go, as you see there, it just updated itself. So this helps you to keep track of everything with your entry fees, and you don't have to worry about trying to add anything up. You can look at this automatically here. Anything that you need to change is going to reflect back here. So you don't have to worry about that. Then we come into cash flow. So if your rent rate is say $3,000, your servicing company is 25, HOA is 120, principal and interest to the seller or bank. So this number right here would be, let's say the actual mortgage payment itself is $1,000, and you're paying the owner for their equity $337. That there would be this total payment either to the seller or to the bank, is that payment. And then you have your monthly taxes, insurance, and there's your war chest, and then your that there equals your cash flow. So as you change these up in here, so let's say that there's no HOA, as you change those up in there again, it's going to come back down here and reflect down in here and make those changes too. So automatically, so you can come in here, see what you're having to do with everything, see what everything's going to cost you, and put that in there so you can keep track of that. This here is a new section here that I'm not 100% on yet, but I'm working on it. This is basically for wraps. So you have your acquired price, and then you have your wrap price. And so on your acquired price, what the acquired interest is and what the actual original monthly payment would be. Well, with the wrap price, I've done this in such a calculation that it breaks down to this aspect. Looking at it with a amortization calculator, this is what these things break down to. So 1% interest is 0.158. So you're going to take your wrap price and times that by 0.158, and that there's going to be your is going to be your price increase. It's going to be your overall price increase. And when you have that in there, this is saying that 400,000 at this increase right there, that 1% increase for a total of 360 months is going to give you back in your pocket roughly $175. Okay, that's essentially how this whole thing is working out here. These numbers over here are based on a 30-year term. These numbers do change based upon a 20-year or a 10-year. Okay. But these are just quick items that you can put in here really quick so you can see what you need to do. So if 1% is 0.158, let's do 1.5% and make that 0.242. And so now that's changed right there. So this here would essentially be your interest rate back on top of that, on top of what you're already being charged here. So this loan is the original, and it's already at 2%. Okay, you're taking this 400 and adding another 1.5% on there, so your overall interest itself is 3.5. Okay, now this here should calculate out to be that, based upon those 360 months, that there is what you should be making in your interest back on that, in addition to this. So if this is 2% and this comes out to be 1.5%, well, then this is what you should be making off that deal by doing a wrap on that. And again, it varies depending upon your price there and everything. But again, this is not something completely set in stone right now, still in the works. Again, then you come in here and you have your, what this deal structure is actually attached to, which seller, and you can go back and click on the seller there and just go back to that. And now we're back on the seller lead. So that's the financials and the deal structure section. Now within the acquisitions here, what we did was we just attached your title company. There's our title company, contact person, phone number, email, location, website, what deals they do. Let's say they don't, they don't do wraps or anything. Okay, great. Now you know what they do. Put in whatever notes there, create a task if you need to call, them, do a follow-up with them or something like that. This title company is attached again back to that seller right there. So you can always go back to that and reference that, so you pull up the deal. So essentially you just bring it up, this deal, whoever this person is, or this deal itself, and you're actually able to go back through and follow up with that. So offers, deals, calculate the deal structure, acquisitions. And then down here we have our JV partner, wholesaler. So this references two different apps there. So as a JV investor would be somebody that would like brought you the deal, or a wholesaler itself. And again, you can go back to that one, and it takes you right back to back to that lead itself. And then you can add in the JV fee, whatever it is. And then so then now like you got your buyer here, Snoop Dogg's going to be buying this property itself. And well, now this takes me to that buyer's records. And now I have a breakdown of what it is that they're actually of a breakdown of what they're actually looking for. So this is my buyer's range app and what they're looking for, and any additional notes, city, state, zips right here that they can put in there. And then again, like I said, for instance, if this buyer is attached to two different properties like this, we can go to the one that we were just at, or we can go into the other one, and it takes me right there to that deal. Okay, so I have that ability, it gives you that ability to go through and follow up with that and check those things out. Without having to bounce back and through all those apps. And so we're back down here. There's a buyer. And again, you can pick a campaign that you want to attach it to and keep track of that stuff. So yeah, again, this is pretty much it. Disposition type, whatever it is that you're doing with it, wholesale, sub two, end buyer, lease option, whatever it is that you're going to do with it. And so basically it's doing this is so you don't have to go back through and jump around from seller lead here to go to the JV lead, to go into the buyer or the realtors or the wholesalers or the investors. You stay in the seller lead, and it will jump you to wherever it is that you need to go as you're working on everything. And that's pretty much it. And then these right here are graphs and charts that I'm actually playing around with. So but this is it. This is my Podio build out and essentially how it's working. This is done up on the free Podio itself. So this would be absolutely free. The only thing is that if you get the top tier, being $24, it does give you a few other notifications. It actually sends you a notification to the app, if that's so be what you want, or you can just stick with getting the emails. But so this is my Google Calendar. This is the Podio calendar, and this is where everything in gray in here is my Google, and everything that's green or blue or in here is my Podio. And so with that, I can go, I can easily go back and forth through here, see what I need to do. I can come over here, jump on that lead there, and it's my seller lead, and it takes me right to that information. And now I can, that reminder that I had in there, that task that I had created in here, I can go through and essentially get that there taken care of right there. So that is my build out on this. There are a few configurations that we can put in here, but this is essentially mine and how I have it set up. Hope you guys enjoyed. Take care.